Hello, and welcome to the pitch for Raven's Training Ground. My name is Cassidy Noble. I'll be leading it. Today is June 18th, and we will be releasing this game on October 1st of 2023. So a little bit about me. I am a 10-time game changer. I've helped out on over 15 other home team projects across the three groups, and I am a 6-time lead, including most recently the Merchants of Me with Gabriel Cornish, the Dragon's Tavern, which was a deck-building card game, and the Mysteries of Clark's Magic Academy, the last one of which is kind of the core mechanic of this game. So for the goal for this project, it is a turn-based combat system where we are emphasizing on that combat system. So we're looking for tight, quick combat, a dynamic turn order, and a more fleshed out system with tactics. So the ability to change your attacks, the ability to switch out who's in your party, and the ability to turn off or turn on the control of your party members. So a little bit more AI responsive. I also am looking for a more stylized UI for like the battle system choices, the stores and inventory, the experience system, and then when you go into combat, as well as automated testing. It would be great to have the ability to press one button and have the player go from start to finish with exploration, combat, advancement, and then a little bit of logic on what to do in certain situations. So the synopsis of the game: the students of Raven's Magical Academy have been summoned by the school's founder, the Raven, to complete the trial to prove they are worthy to learn ancient magic. So the party must navigate through the Raven's 3 floors of turn-based combat while honing their magical ability along the way. So some of the inspirations from this game, the enemies and concepts are taken basically directly from the Mysteries of Clark's Magic Academy, which are the lore creatures of North American mythology. The turn-based combat system, you can think of it as like Final Fantasy, early Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, and Earthbound. The automated testing, borrowing concepts from the Persona 5 behind-the-scenes stuff and the Horizon Zero Dawn behind-the-scenes items. And then the stylized UI I'm taking primarily from the Persona franchise. The core gameplay loop is the players walking around in a dungeon. They interact with an enemy. The enemy takes them into a battle. You complete the battle, then you're taken back into the overworld. And then as you complete these battles, you're gaining experience to learn new spells to take down stronger opponents. There are going to be 3 different floors. You have the hub shop on like floor 0. Floor 1, we're aiming for like a procedural generation floor. Floor 2 is a pre-level designed type of flow. And then floor 3 will be our final boss. And so after you complete each floor, you can go back to the shop area and kind of upgrade things and then keep going. So knowing that, let's pop on over to our demo here. So this is our scene so far. It's very simple. We just have a square and some circles. But once we hit play, everything is feeding into our battle system and our unit system. So currently we have 4 playable characters. Their UI is currently sitting right down here. We have 1 enemy right here with our start on our stylized UI system. They currently have unknown characteristics for their transfiguration, their charms, their dark arts, their physical, and their ancient abilities. The idea will be after you perform one of these attacks onto the enemy, that question mark will be removed, and you can figure out what is going on behind the scenes there. So each of these characters here have their own unit script here, which contains their HP, their magic, and then their general characteristics, as well as what they're strong and weak against, and as well the skills that they are aware of. So every one of the humanoid characters and every one of the enemy characters are all hiding in this resource folder, and each of them have their own list of abilities. So there's no real clean UI at the moment, but it's all hiding inside of the console log right here. So the battle system is sorted by the agility system right now. So you take everybody that's currently in this battle and you sort them by agility. So like right through here, you have our combatants. So Erebus went first. He did a basic cast, and then the enemy dodged the attack. So now it should be Theo's turn. So if I press the space button, then Theo was up. He did this attack, and it knocked the enemy down because it was a critical attack, and you can see that the health updated there. So the next should be Danny. And Danny did that, did a potion of healing, so they recovered a little bit of their health down there. So then it was on to the Fresno Nightcrawler, which is a lore creature from California. He did this attack, and then it was dodged. And then we had Sophie come up. Sophie did this attack. Sophie killed the enemy, and then the player won the battle because there are no more enemies left on the field. So that is the current iteration of the battle system right now. We do have an overworld. It's very simple at the moment, but this is where we will be able to go from inside of combat to outside of combat. I do want to show you the modular system that we have right now. So the number of enemies is random at the moment, between 0 and 4 based on a percentage, and that was a great start. We took the same enemy and the same percentage chance. There we go. There's our little squonk that we saw from the Mysteries of Clark's Magic Academy. But we can also change the players that are currently in the battle. Let's grab our script aspect of it here. So if we take Danny down here and Erebus down here, and we switch this out with maybe Tristan and Phoebe. There we go. So now we should see that once we change who is currently in the party, the characters in the map will change, as well as how their UI looks down here. So now we can see this black character and this red character, as well as their little UI characters updating down here, and their current MP and HP down there. And we can see that there are two characters now. We have the Fresno Nightcrawler again, but we also have our Pukwudgie. Now the Pukwudgie may look a little funky, since he looks entirely metallic, but that is intended. We now have a system of a way to farm experience, so that way players don't have to battle as less. So any character that comes up in metallic, they are extremely hard to hit, extremely low hit points, but if you kill them before they run away, then you get a whole bunch of experience out of the system. So that is currently what we have inside of the battle combat. I want to make sure I covered everything there. Oh, I also have the starting block for the various humanoid characters. I'll be working on that this week, getting all their animations and getting them integrated into the game. So now if we pop on over to the Trello board here, we have a general style guide right through here. We have some notes and some goals of the project listed way over here. We have the items in our done list. We have our warm-up tasks over here broken down by what they specifically touch. So the first couple weeks are going to be focused on getting the battle system up and running, getting the character design in there, and getting equipment created and integrated into the game. Eventually, we will get to a store system where the player can purchase items or purchase more advanced spells if they have proved their worthiness to the Raven. We have the level 1 battle room art, the level 2 battle room art, or maybe I flip those around. Then we have the level 2 level design structure, the level 3 boss fight. We've integrated some sound effects throughout the project, so there's not like a major block at any one point. We're going to try to create 2 different playtest sessions, one to get the general core gameplay loop integrated, and then one towards the end of the project after we get like a Fatui/tutorial sequence taken care of in there. And then the project will be releasing on October 1st. So ways to get involved. This project is going to be heavily emphasized on the 2D UI aspects of it, so this would be like dynamic and static art, animations and transitions, as well as a shop and inventory system. We're looking for programming through building on top of the battle system, building an inventory system, an automated testing system, a little bit of procedural generation, and learning new spells / replacing old ones. And then audio, we're looking for some battle music, and some overworld music, as well as sound effects through like attacking and damage and death and menus and magic and all sorts of things like that. From the level design aspect, we have a planned design level, so that could do some low-key puzzles. We have some 3D modeling through like a graveyard and volcanoes and like a spooky aspect, as well as clothing, armor, as in the integration of that system. We have some visual effects for particle systems and portals, as well as some post-processing on the camera. And then last, towards the end of the project, we're aiming for some writing. Once all the systems are in place, we can create the tutorial sequence to sort of explain how the game is played. So that is Ravens Training Ground. If you have questions or you're interested, join the Unity Ravens Training Ground project, and we are releasing October 1st.